Headed right on our Lewis Automotive Hotline on a Wednesday morning, which I am now remembering is a Hall of Fame Wednesday. We have Hall of Fame sports writer and sportscaster Grant Hall with us for one segment. Grant, good morning to you. It's been an interest since we last talked to you. We've had something totally new, something traditional, and a debate that feels like it might be stuck in 1998. How are you today?
I'm fine, and here we are Wednesday, and people are still talking about it. And Arkansas's got a game to play against Ole Miss on Saturday, which that's kind of one of the problems. I mean, that's enough to say grace over right there.
Yeah. So, what's more interesting to you? Let me. Where do you want to take this?
I think the Ole Miss game by far. I mean, it could be make or break for this team potentially. Ole Miss is favored by 10 points or something like that, and we're going to find out a lot about both of those teams that we probably don't know yet. The whole stadium thing, I mean, just quickly, let me say, I mean, I've probably been to 100 games at War Memorial Stadium. My dad went to when the 25 Little Pigs beat Ole Miss 6-0 in 1954. Some thought that was kind of the beginning of modern Razorback football, and then I was there in 74 when Arkansas beat number 1 USC, and the fans stayed for 20 minutes afterwards yelling. And I'm down there on the field with Ike Forte, and he's just looking up in wonder at the whole thing. But nostalgia is fine. There's a place for that. But all of the things that Hunter Yurachek has said about this thing still apply, including that the schedule is full out to 2030. Now, I suppose if enough powerful people got together, they could change that. But I'm not that clued into the Board of Trustees anymore, and not sure what everyone's thinking about it. But it was a good, I guess, nice day, electric day. But I don't know that Governor Sanders, I think probably she's managed to alienate herself from more Arkansas voters than she realizes.
Maybe I don't know. I think it's all part of it being out there and stuff. I'm still a Sarah Huckabee Sanders fan. Let's talk a little bit about Arkansas Ole Miss and what we saw. Phil and I were talking on Monday, and what we've seen the first 2 games of this year to what you've seen the last couple years. Man, this is what you wanted to see. The offense excelled, defense got better from week 1 to week 2. But we're kind of picking on the stepchild. It's kind of varsity, junior varsity. None of those players are good enough to play in the SEC, the 2 teams we just beat. All taking that into context, what do you like about this team? How do you see this game going? What do you think Arkansas can excel at against Ole Miss this week?
Well, I like the offense, Matt. We thought it was pretty good. I mean, it'd be nice to keep scoring 50-plus, wouldn't it? Arkansas was going into a game last year that they lost 63-30. Was it? And one of the TV stations had it 21. I think it was 31 last year when they stopped counting. And the players that are here, Sam Pittman talked about this, Matt. You'd think there'd be a little juice there, wanting a little payback from that, especially as Ole Miss kept scoring and had their starting quarterback in there a long time. In the fourth quarter, stuff like that used to really fuel things. I don't know that people pay that much attention to that anymore, but this year's team, they've got a quarterback that I guess is healthy, and we'll see. He already had been taken out of one of the last drives there last week. And by the way, I think that was a 9.5-point game, right? That's what the line was, and then Ole Miss scored to get ahead by 10, and then at the end, with a few seconds left, a field goal cut it back to 7, and the field goal was the right play because there was just enough time for an onside kick, maybe throw a Hail Mary, but that was kind of an amusing element to that Kentucky game.
Yeah, but still the feeling for Ole Miss is this is not an offense that's clicking the same way that it did under Jackson Dart and some of the weather. They got some of the same weapons as last year, better running back too in Kalen Lacey, but not a better quarterback. And that's what's going to drive this, too. But this is still a big test for the defense because they're going to come at you in 2 or 3 different ways on the ground. They're still going to try to exploit matchups on the outside when the chance is there. This is all about establishing the run early in this game. The team that does that is going to play with the lead, and I think both teams can run with the lead.
Yeah, I agree with that, Phil. Lane Kiffin talked about that. that they've been able to really rush the ball, and they're still able to do it. Arkansas probably had, for example, Sam Pittman said the other day, I think there were 14 carries between Russell and Arkansas's star running back, who we haven't really seen a whole lot of yet, and he thinks that's going to go up in this game. So, I think you're going to see 20 or so carries, maybe more by those two, depending on what success they have or don't have. But you might, all you have to do to see, the team that rushes for the most yards might win this game, or the team that has fewer turnovers might be the one that wins 38-35.
Ooh, I could see that if we could steal a couple extra possessions. Hey, there's a lot of newcomers at the quarterback position in the SEC this year, and there's been a lot of debates. The last year and a half or so, I've said Taylen Green can be a top 4 quarterback in the SEC. Where do you I have Nussmeier at LSU number 1 right now, but where do you see Taylen Green? I know we haven't really played too. I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves with the 2 teams we've played. But do you think by the end of the season, more people are going to be saying, hey, Taylen Green, that's a 3rd-round draft pick. That's a guy that's going to play on Sundays. Or do you think it'd be, I don't know if he's going to get drafted?
Well, I think he would have even had more regard last year, Matt, if he hadn't got hurt after Tennessee. I think that limited some of the things he could do last year. I've always been really high on this guy. And by the way, I think he's about 6'7.5", 6'8". I don't know if you've stood up next to him.
He's a pterodactyl for football terms. Yeah, he's big.
I mean, I like the guy hurdling. The thing that you are concerned about, though, is staying healthy. And if he's going to make runs like that, he's susceptible. And that, you want him to stay healthy. But I think if he does, he's easily a top 4 or 5 quarterback in this league. And the team is, for a team not getting any votes for the Associated Press top 25, they've looked pretty good. So. But again, we'll know a whole lot more after this Saturday.
Top 20 Razorbacks in the top 25 if they beat Ole Miss on the road?
Oh, yeah, because Ole Miss, they're ranked, 17th or something? I would think they'd have to be.
Yeah, I would think so, too. Hey, baseball schedule yesterday, Grant. Can't complain about this one.
No.
People are complaining about, we're not getting the tough teams this year. Usually you don't hear that when it comes to football.
You're not getting LSU, Vanderbilt, Texas A&M, or Tennessee. Just think about that. That's a dream schedule.
Are we still in the SEC?
Right.
Did we move to the Big 8 or something?
Do you remember that phone call we got about a month ago? Some guy called up, said he'd had a look at the SEC baseball schedule. He saw the Hogs baseball schedule. He asked if I did. I had not. And he told us exactly what he said. No LSU, no Tennessee, no Texas. I don't remember if he said no A&M, no Vanderbilt. I'm fine with no Vanderbilt. That just means no Whistler. But it's not like an SEC baseball schedule is easy. It's just this just isn't as tough as it was before.
Yeah, of those 10 remaining that you're playing, probably 8 of them will be ranked, maybe something like that, Phil. It's kind of hard to know, obviously, this far off, but they're always good, and who knows? Maybe they'll end up being better than some of the teams we mentioned. So, but maybe the fans would want to see those other teams just for the fun of it. But I imagine the coaches are pretty pleased with the schedule.
It's just, I think people like rivalries well, you can say rivalries, and there are plenty of rivalries for the baseball program. I think people like that. And I think, it's so interesting to see the reactions from the schedules that get released. You play everybody in basketball, and that's understood. You don't play everybody the same amount of times. Football, you don't play everybody. Baseball, you don't play everybody. I think you can see the confidence in the programs by the way fans react to these schedules, in which annually you're getting screwed by the SEC, and some of that is also legit just based on how many home games you get in certain parts of the year. But the baseball fans are just like, bring it on. Bring us the 27 Yankees. We'll see what we can do there.
And basketball just keeps adding power after power to the schedule. John must think this team's going to be really good, to take on this kind of schedule. I don't remember one that's this power-packed with non-conference teams.
Well, and it's also, are they going to set a record for neutral site regular season games? I don't think they've ever played this many games on a neutral site. It
helps recruiting. I think he likes to do that. And of course, he's got so many ties to these places. But Did you see where Calipari is 17-3 against Memphis? Is that right? No, it's against Houston. I hope I'm getting that right. I may be conflating. You have to look that one up.
Would they have been in the same league when he was at Memphis?
Yeah, I think it was
17-12 or something. They were in the
against Houston because I know Arkansas has an above 500 record against Houston, but not like that. So that's pretty impressive.
What other games are you looking forward to this week around the SEC? Is it A&M and Notre Dame? Is it Georgia, Tennessee? When you're looking around the SEC, what other two games you looking at?
Yeah, I was looking at that this morning, Matt. Those are the two that kind of catch your attention the most, I would say. I mean, maybe let's see a couple of others.
You think Georgia and Notre Dame? I mean, those are the two favorites in those games. Tennessee really hasn't got off the snide, beating them. Do you think the two favorites win those two games?
I think Georgia wins. I think. I think Notre Dame wins. I think coming off a loss, they're going to win that. Let's just see who else is playing it. Well, Alabama has Wisconsin at home.
Could that be it? Let's say Wisconsin beats Bama. Does DeBoer make it to? Is he gone?
That'll be
that'd be it, right?
Absolutely done.
I think that 73-0 last week maybe calmed it down a little bit, and plus the fact that it's going to be a $58.9 million buyout. That's not too practical.
They're a 21-point favorite at Bryant-Denny Stadium. He loses that game, they'll find the money.
They don't need to lose that. Florida and LSU are playing this week at Baton Rouge, so LSU doesn't need to lose that one either. Speaking of coaches who kind of tend to say the wrong things, South Carolina, Vanderbilt at Columbia. Any takers for Vanderbilt in the early season in this one?
I would absolutely take them, just not in Columbia, not in that not in that atmosphere. I don't think. But I know they beat Virginia Tech. But in Blacksburg, so it's pretty rare to go on the road to two Power 4 opponents and get road wins back-to-back weeks. But this isn't your dad's Vanderbilt Commodores, Grant.
No, and South Carolina's coach has aged probably 10 years in the last two. He doesn't even look like the same guy, but he's doing a great job there.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, HOGS, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to mybookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's where bettors win together because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Got a little jingle